Hello and welcome to another GarageBand tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to create your own loops. It's really easy. The first thing I've got is my blank GarageBand project, and what I need now is a track. So I'm going to go to the menu and select create new track, and then I'm going to make it a software instrument, because these are the MIDI instruments that we use and work with loops in GarageBand. Now there's a few ways to make your own loop and create your own music. And I'm going to show you a few different approaches that you can have towards making your own loop. I'm going to start with the drum kit, and I'm going to start with the keyboard function of GarageBand. You go up into your top menu and you can select keyboard, and this displays a MIDI keyboard controller which can completely control whichever instrument track that you have selected. I've got the drum kit here, and you can hear all the different options that you have with the basic rock kit. This is a really easy way to start recording a loop, because what you can do is get a kind of bit of working material down by hitting record and pushing some of the keys with your mouse. This is obviously not a very practical way to write a song, because you can't play things very well. You can't, you won't stay in time very well just clicking the mouse, but it's a good way to start something and get a starting point. See, now that I've created this little loop, which is just some out of time kick drum, I can edit it in the loop editor like I showed you last week. Change the length of the hits, where they hit, make sure that they're all in time with the tempo of the song with the metronome. Make sure that they all line up to this grid pattern, which shows you where beat 1 is, where bar 1 is, where bar 2 is, and the beats and how they're broken up. You can, if you missed hits, you can add more in just by holding down Option and clicking. Gives you that little pencil. And then you can change the length of the notes that you've added in. Their velocity if they're not consistent enough with the other hits. You can make it so that from these very simple little recordings you can actually have a more defined part developed. See, now I've got this solid kick drum which stays in time with the tempo of the track and is really consistent. This is a good grounding point, but it's not a very good drum beat, so I'm going to edit this even a little bit more. I'm going to make it into just like a basic rock beat, because that's something really, really quick and easy way to show you how you can edit. So I've changed the rhythm of my kick drum pattern from what I originally had now. And now I'm going to add a snare part. So at any point you can click on the keyboard on the left hand side and it shows you it plays to you what that track is or what that note is. In this case I found the right snare sound that I wanted. I've added in 4 snare hits, made the velocities stand up to the others, and pretty easy, just like that, starting to get a rock beat formed. Now I think I want to add some hi-hats, so whereabouts is that? There it is. Okay, so I'm going to add some hi-hats in, just using Option and clicking. See, I don't even have to click them in the right spot, because I can just always drag them across and fix it, after I've added them. I'm going to make the length of them a bit shorter so I can see what I'm doing here, because I know I want more hi-hat hits than that. Now I'm just going to copy them all and paste them out of sync. Now essentially I've just added quaver hi-hats right across the first bar of my drum beat. I can just copy them again, paste them again, and there we go. Voila, basic rock beat. This is a really easy way to work with GarageBand, just adding in a basic part with the keyboard and recording, and then editing it in the loop editor, making your own loops. Alright, I need another part now because that rock beat's pretty boring. So I'm going to add a piano part. The only problem with using the keyboard function for adding piano parts is you can't hit more than one key at once. That's where this comes in, musical typing. Musical typing function turns your writing keyboard on your computer into a MIDI controller that plays the track instrument. It's easy to adjust the velocity and the octave that you're playing in, and you can play chords, scales and all sorts of things really easily. This is really cool. All you need to do now is hit record down the bottom and then play along. Too easy. See how it instantly adds the MIDI part up the top? Now if I want to, I played that okay, but if I want to shore it up, make sure it's all, you know, really in time and really neat, I can just go through, adjust any parts that I want, maybe change notes. You know, I could also drop it down an octave if I wanted to, like we did before. Just like that, you've got a loopable part that you created yourself. You can see how it's really powerful working with MIDI instruments. You can really create whatever you like. Now I've got my main chord part, my rock kick part. I think I might add like a little melody line with a flute. This is just to show you another way that you can create loops. So that's my flute noise. Obviously, because it's a melody line, I could create it just by, you know, playing through the keyboard like that, but I'm going to show you something else. In the editor, you can open up, not what we were just working in is the piano roll part of the sample editor, but here's the score element. This shows you a written score of the music that is being played. And just like before, if you create a little loop using the keyboard function, you can edit your own piece of music in written scored notation. This is really good if you're used to using, you know, scored music, if you're used to reading and writing in it, and you don't quite understand the piano roll. You can add notes in just like before, holding Option and clicking. You can adjust what they are, you know, crotchets, quavers, semiquavers, breathes, add whatever you like. Create your own little melody that you have in your head. Add in your triplet forms, anything like that. You make it as long as you like, edit it back, and then you have a MIDI part that you've written in a score. Loop it, and it's just that simple. You've created your own loops from scratch using nothing but the MIDI controls. That's all I got to show you this week. I'll show you some more next time, some stuff with effects, and hope you've enjoyed it.